Oh, very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Udeni Nawagamo from the University of Moratuwa. When I was requested to be the MC of this event, I had a discussion with the organizers. So there were two sets of keywords that was discussed in our discussion. One was Wijeyesekera Emeritus Professor Dayantha Wijeyesekera. The other word was the CODL. So, to begin with, Dayantha Wijeyesekera is a Sri Lankan academic and civil engineer. Professor Dayantha Wijeyesekera, who passed away a few days ago, was a dynamic personality who headed not one but two national universities in Sri Lanka: the Open University, the OUSL, and the University of Moratuwa. During Professor Wijeyesekera's tenure as Vice-Chancellor at the University of Moratuwa, University of Moratuwa experienced growth and expansion in academic sectors. Academic programs blossomed. In addition, Professor Dayantha Wijeyesekera reached out to international centers of distance education and open universities across the world when he was serving as the Vice-Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka. The University of Moratuwa celebrated 50 years in higher education in the year 2022. Professor Wijeyesekera spent his time making a wonderful department, the Department of Civil Engineering. And then he became the Dean, Faculty of Engineering, and then the Vice-Chancellor of the same university. Center for Open and Distance Learning, CODL, was established in 2006 to facilitate the administration and academic support activities of study programs offered in open and distance learning. It is the CODL who thought to facilitate Professor Dayantha Wijeyesekera at the first month remembrance. So he must be recognized as the father of distance learning in the country. So to begin with, I would like to request, ladies and gentlemen, to rise and observe 1 minute silence to respect this great giant, Professor Dayantha Wijeyesekera. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. So with that small introduction, to start today's proceedings, I would like to invite Senior Professor Niranjan Gunawardena, who is the present Vice-Chancellor at the University of Moratuwa. Over to you, sir.
Members of the late Professor Dayantha Wijeyesekera's family, honorable guests, distinguished faculty members, staff, ladies and gentlemen. It is my utmost pleasure to welcome all of you to the launch of our new online courses in project management at University of Moratuwa. today marks a significant milestone as we expand our educational offerings to the digital realm and provide platform for individuals to enhance their project management knowledge and skills. I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you who has graced this occasion with your presence. Your support and enthusiasm demonstrate the importance we collectively place on embracing the opportunities provided by digital learning platforms. We also use this occasion to commemorate the services of our esteemed former Vice Chancellor, late Professor Wijeyesekera, a pioneer in distant education who left us a month ago. In the latter part of 1990s, I had the privilege of working closely with Professor Wijeyesekera at Moratuwa University. At the time, he had just returned to the university after serving as Vice Chancellor of the Open University and acting as a mentor for final year research projects in the Department of Civil Engineering. Together, we worked on a new concept called full-time equivalent for different departments at the university. This innovative approach aimed at determining the workload of staff members. Later, we adapted this method at University of Moratuwa to establish a system for determining staff accountability and workloads, which eventually became the standard for the entire university system in the country. My association with Professor Wijeyesekera began during this period and lasted for over a quarter of a century. However, his life and works were so extensive and diverse that I only have limited knowledge about them. In 1999, I unexpectedly became the Chief Student Council of the university. During a clash between engineering and NDT students, I temporarily assumed the role as the incumbent had to travel abroad for medical treatment. Later that year, Professor Wijeyesekera became the Vice Chancellor and appointed me to the position permanently. And this move led to a lasting relationship with Professor Wijeyesekera, extending beyond his retirement as a senior professor at the University of Moratuwa. During the 6-year period I worked with him, Professor Wijeyesekera made significant improvements to the student counseling and support system at the university. Drawing on his extensive experience working with students and as a university administrator, he oversaw the construction of new buildings, including academic departments and canteen facilities. His leadership resulted in numerous development activities that greatly benefited the university. As a chartered civil engineer by profession, he ensured that all construction projects were completed on time, within budget, and met the expected quality standards. Truly speaking, he was an excellent project manager. Under his tenure as Vice Chancellor, he effectively managed not only construction projects, but also student affairs, ensuring that the university never had to be closed due to any conflicts. He also utilized student clashes as an opportunity to establish the Institute of Technology University of Moratuwa, widely known as ITUM, which has now grown to a prominent institute with the potential to become a fully fledged university in the future. This experience of working with Professor Wijeyesekera eventually paved the way for me to become the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dean of Faculty of Business, and then the Vice Chancellor of the university years later. In our memories, Professor Wijeyesekera will forever be admired as a teacher, a mentor, and a compassionate human being. His contribution to the academic world and the lives he touched will continue to resonate, inspiring us to strive for greatness and to make a difference in the world, just as he did. Walking in Professor Wijeyesekera's footsteps, today we embark on a new chapter in our pursuit for excellence in education. The University of Moratuwa has always been at the forefront of innovation and academic advancement, and the introduction of online courses aligns seamlessly with our commitment to providing accessible, flexible, and high-quality education to wider audience. As a university, we recognize that education is not limited to specific time or place. Learning is a lifelong journey, and we are proud to offer these online courses to meet the diverse learning needs of our students, professionals seeking to upskill or reskill, and lifelong learners eager to expand their knowledge horizons. The University of Moratuwa has meticulously crafted these online courses to uphold our academic standards, ensuring that the same rigor, quality, and depth of knowledge are delivered to our online learners. Our faculty members have invested their expertise, time, and dedication in designing engaging and interactive learning materials that will inspire intellectual growth and foster a sense of discovery. The over 200,000 students on open.uam.lk platform since its launch in February last year is the result of that commitment. Project management has become increasingly vital in today's dynamic and fast-paced world. It is a discipline that brings structure, organization, and effective planning to achieve successful outcomes. By launching these online courses in project management, we are responding to the growing demand for skilled project managers who can navigate complex challenges, drive innovation, and deliver results in various sectors and industries. In conclusion, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the University of Moratuwa community, our faculty, and the dedicated team who have worked tirelessly to make these online courses a reality. I also thank Mr. Damika Pereira and the team at DP Education Foundation for all support extended. Together we are shaping the future of education and empowering learners to embark on a transformative journey of knowledge and personal growth. Thank you once again for gracing this occasion, and I wish all our participants success and fulfillment in their online learning endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with late Professor Dayantha Wijeyesekera. It was a dream to start a faculty dedicated to IT. That was the IT faculty at the University of Moratuwa. And in fact, the founder dean of the Faculty of Information Technology must have some words to share with everybody. This invitation goes to Professor Priyantha Dhammika Wijetunga to share your thoughts.
Family members of the late Professor Dayantha Wijeyesekera, distinguished invitees, and my former colleagues from the University of Moratuwa, good afternoon to all of you. It is a great honor to be here in this important gathering to commemorate Professor Wijeyesekera and his contributions to the technical education in Sri Lanka, spanning more than 4 decades, I suppose. And I would love to speak a few words on my experience with him starting the Faculty of IT at the University of Moratuwa, only the third faculty to be started at Moratuwa. We had only 2 faculties, Faculty of Engineering and Faculty of Architecture at the time. And there was a great need at the time to expand the IT education, and everybody was looking at it. And Professor Wijeyesekera thought it's time that we have another faculty called Faculty of IT. And as the introduction explained, that was the first ever IT faculty in the country. We had IT education across the country in the state university system, but we never had a dedicated faculty at the time for IT. Before I really go into a little bit of details, I would like to recall my first encounter with Prof. Wijeyesekera when he was the Dean, Faculty of Engineering at the university. That's the time when we joined the university as students somewhere around 1981, late 1981 actually, when we entered the university. Since then, we always looked up to him, and of course others in his generation as our role models, because they had the stature, the politeness, the eloquence in language, and the commitment to the job. And many a time, I have discussed that commitment and the quality of his generation of academics to the upliftment of tertiary education in all forms, and that has been unmatched and will probably remain the same for many, many years to come. I do not have to repeat what you have already heard about Professor Wijeyesekera, and he was a great visionary in the field of education, and in particular, technical and vocational education. My close association with him started with the establishment of the IT faculty, as I said, at the university, at his personal invitation. In fact, frankly, I was attached to the Department of Electrical Engineering. I was running the Computer Services Center, which was the only kind of IT center at the time. And that was my only qualification to start the IT faculty. And when I was invited to lead the establishment, I was wondering why. I still don't know why. And while being attached to, I asked him why, and though I loved the challenge because that was going to be the third faculty to start at the university, subsequent to the establishment of Faculty of Architecture. That was, in fact, the second faculty. Once decided, he never gave up until the final objective was achieved, a great leader of his generation. The enormous support Professor Wijeyesekera extended and the free hand he gave me, supported by, of course, Malik at the time. He was the dean of the Faculty of Engineering. And the most interesting thing is that we always hear establishment of various institutions and the faculties in the universities, and you can see how much of resistance you get from the academics themselves, because why do you want to create this? Because it's already in here, and so on and so forth. But in the unique situation at the time in our university was that everybody supported, including the Computer Science and Engineering Department, which was under the engineering faculty, which was under Malik at the time, and they were fully supportive of establishment of this additional faculty. Any other place, everybody would have resisted. Why do you want to have this kind of faculty when you have a Computer Science and Engineering Department? It never happened at Moratuwa. Everybody got together and decided we need to have this faculty, and it happened, and Professor Wijeyesekera led it along with everybody else, and people like Malik fully supported it. And in fact, if I can remember right, even some of the financial resources allocated for engineering faculty was kind of diverted to IT faculty, which I shouldn't be saying because the engineering faculty colleagues would have been upset about it. And Professor Wijeyesekera really loved me, gave me a free hand to select the staff, to select the resources needed, and to go through the procurement process, even sometimes not really going through the normal process, but accelerating the process to make sure that it happens in time and so on. So the other important thing I want to mention here is that at the time when we finally established the faculty, the student intake had already happened, and all the other universities had taken the students, and in fact, either we had to wait for the next batch of students to come, or we should find a way to get some students to our faculty. It was only 50 students. I can still remember Prof. Wijeyesekera said, no, we should have some students now from the current batch, even though already student selections have happened. So we decided, we went through an advertisement, and we ended up getting 50 students. In fact, whether it's good or bad, I don't know. We ended up getting students from other faculties finally coming to ours. More than half of them were from agriculture faculty, if I can remember right. And the other important thing is that Professor Wijeyesekera from the very beginning said we should expand or open the IT faculty to fields other than mathematics. Because everybody who did mathematics were the ones who were selected for IT. He decided, no, this should be expanded because IT is not only for mathematics students, but everybody else. And we, through the IT Standing Committee in the university, at the University Grants Commission, and Malik obviously played a great role in it. And we forced other IT courses were to start at University of California at the time, if I can remember right, to open it up for bioscience students, at least for bioscience students. So we ended up getting the first batch, more than half of them were from bioscience students, and then the rest were the mathematics. And at the end, the best performance of that batch, I'm happy to tell you, were from the bioscience stream, and they were the top ranked students. So that's the kind of courage Professor Wijeyesekera had at the time to take bold steps. In fact, at the time he said, Priyantha, we should make sure that eventually when we have numbers grown, eventually this should be open for everybody, all sorts of disciplines GC advanced level, to come to IT faculty regardless what they have done at A levels. So that's the kind of bold steps he took. In fact, it really helped people to grow. And also, I am very happy to say that I ended up getting the best of the new recruits for the administration at the time. Dishan, who is now the registrar of the university, he was my first assistant registrar, and Professor Wijeyesekera, and of course Malik agreed to give him to me because to make sure that the faculty grows. So these are kind of things what he really pushed for, and he really believed in it. He made sure it happens once it's decided. So finally, I must say this is only a short summary of one of the greatest achievements out of many of this wonderful person who many of us dearly miss. Let me stop here and say, may his soul rest in peace. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Wijeyetunga. Yes, it has been a very long journey. Yeah. Next item in the agenda, I think she's an iron lady. She has clear agenda to talk about the beginning of an era of open and distance learning at the University of Moratuwa, BIT, and the ODL today at Moratuwa. I kindly invite Mrs. Vishaka Nanayakara, the Director, Center for Open and Distance Learning and Senior Lecturer at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at the University of Moratuwa. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you, Professor Nagamua. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen who are gathered here at Sri Lanka Foundation, and whatever the appropriate greeting to all our friends joining us online via our YouTube streaming. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Kamalin and Chintaka, as I stand here at Sri Lanka Foundation, my memory goes back a decade when then, as a member of a World Bank funded project, I tried to help the Ministry of Higher Education in formulating and legislating Sri Lanka Qualification Framework, which is popularly known as SLQF. We had a delegation from Australia, and they wanted to look into the possibility of having a single uniform qualification framework for Sri Lanka. To do that, we had to look at and collaboratively work with National Vocational Qualification Framework, NVQF, and SLQF. Will we be able to get everybody to the same table was the question. I volunteered to do the task of talking to Professor Wijeyesekera. I was well received with his characteristic warm and sincere manner. I'm sure Madam Kamlin would remember that I was even invited for lunch at their Mount Lavinia residence to discuss. I still distinctly remember what late Professor Wijeyesekera said at that key meeting we had. He said that this was a good proposal, but it will be a long courtship of engagement, but that he doubted whether it will end up in a marriage. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm certain that he would have been very happy if we proved him wrong. But yes, we still haven't seen that marriage of NVQF and SLQF. That was how Professor Wijeyesekera saw things. My other imprinted recollection of our former Vice Chancellor is how adaptable he was. All of us would recollect the disastrous Boxing Day tsunami of 2004. The gloomy dawn of 2005, we could not figure out what to do. But Professor Wijeyesekera, then as Vice Chancellor, walked into each and every department in the university on the first working day of 2005, greeting all of us and giving his encouraging smile to motivate us and to thank us for whatever contributions we were making for the recovery after tsunami. I learned my lessons of resilient leadership from him on that day. Priyantha took us down the memory lane on how Faculty of IT became a reality. I still remember how we, the young lecturers of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, the perceived arch enemies of the new faculty, we were made to be involved in not only the teaching, but even in assisting the refurbishment of the faculty building at Borella. Such was the leadership of Professor Wijeyesekera and people like Priyantha. Having started Faculty of Information Technology, with his experience in distance learning, I'm certain that what was in Professor Wijeyesekera's mind was how to bring the expertise of University of Moratuwa academics into the realm of open distance learning. It is a known fact at Moratuwa that Prof had gone and promised to produce a larger number of IT graduates, even without the Faculty of Information knowing about it. The World Bank funded Distance Education Modernization Project, DEM project as it was known, was initiated with an ambitious task of producing 25,000 external degree students. Professor Wijeyesekera has promised to take a lion's share of it by University of Moratuwa. Like Priyantha was chosen for the job of the first dean, Professor had a person in mind to do this, and Dr. Ajit Maduraperuma was invited to join the Faculty of IT. When Professor Wijeyesekera's term as the Vice Chancellor was over, the honors of establishing the external degree in IT was on the shoulders of new Vice Chancellor, Professor Malik Ranasinghe. Center for Open and Distance Learning, CODL, at the university was established in 2006. CODL's mandate was to facilitate administrative and academic support activities of study programs offered in open and distance learning mode. With the aim of addressing the much-needed IT workforce of the country, the transformative academic program of Bachelor of Information Technology external degree was launched in 2007 as an online distance mode program. Dr. Maduraperuma unfortunately can't join us today in person to tell us about all the challenges faced and how they moved forward. Today, BIT at University of Moratuwa has become an avenue not only for the students who cannot gain admission to a university, but for any student who wishes to gain a degree-level qualification in IT to achieve their dreams. BIT degree program, which ensures UOM's uncompromised quality, provides an education to suit the needs of the industry through regular curriculum revisions and content updates. Today, the Bachelor of Information Technology external degree offered by the University of Moratuwa stand as a testament to the institution's commitment to producing exceptional IT graduates who are prepared to meet the challenges of the ever-evolving digital era. And I feel that smile of Professor Wijeyesekera on us, saying, that is what I had in mind when I wanted to do this amidst all the resistance you all had. Thank you, sir, for guiding us at Moratuwa to achieve what we have achieved in distance education that you were well conversant with. Moving to the present, the silver lining that we had in the dark cloud of COVID-19 was the understanding of the pivotal role information technology plays in every aspect of our lives. Education is no exception. we at University of Moratuwa were reasonably using technology in our teaching learning process in 2020. So when the entire country came to a standstill in late March 2020, it took us only a week to start our internal programs in online mode. Thanks to the colleagues at Center for IT Services, ably led by Dr. Shahan Perra at that time, we at University of Moratuwa provided support that was needed to move on to the online mode. I still recollect a courageous decision by Professor Malik Ranasinghe when he was the Vice Chancellor. Ambitious as we were at that time in using technology and the internet in our day-to-day teaching, we had complaints about not having wired network capabilities in the lecture rooms. This was prior to the era of having campus-wide Wi-Fi facility that we enjoy today at the Moratuwa campus. Professor Ranasinghe, then as the Vice Chancellor, took a bold decision of providing the staff with a broadband dongle free of charge. The bills were paid by the university, utilizing the money that was allocated for paying the phone bills of the officials, which was underutilized. When the universities were closed overnight in March 2020, each and every one of us had a broadband dongle. So irrespective of whether we had a network connectivity at home or not, we were ready to go with teaching from home. Our learning management system developed at the university had all the students registered, and each and every course we taught had a Moodle course page for that. Years of perseverance and hard work by multiple people at University of Moratuwa made us a click university from a brick university overnight, thanks to the able and far-sighted leadership of the Vice Chancellors we have had. Now, while all this was happening during COVID pandemic, there was one person who pushed things beyond what we were doing. Somewhere in early 2021, Mr. Dhammika Pereira had this conversation with me on how we can expand the BIT external degree program. He was happy with the reception the DP Education Foundation was getting in advanced level teaching and was looking at how the students can get a better university education available for many. He wanted to extend whatever support we at the university needed. Few conversations among Professor Malik Ranasinghe, Mr. Dhammika Pereira, and myself. In his characteristic way of planning, Mr. Pereira suggested that we have 10 meetings to see what we can do. 1 year into COVID pandemic, we sat down, or should I say we Zoomed, for nearly 2 hours every Thursday to see how we can enhance the quality of instruction material and assessment for BIT degree. The BIT University of Moratuwa YouTube channel is one example of what we achieved. Of course, the good practices we developed were not limited to BIT. With my colleagues getting into developing BIT content, Mr. Pereira and Professor Ranasinghe started pushing us to a new direction. Can we use our expertise and provide a bigger outreach? Can we address the issue of very much needed skilled workforce for the IT industry? We expanded our circle to include people from industry and industry consortia. Mr. Pereira relentlessly pushed us beyond limits, always been there to help us see things from a new angle. My young colleagues were ready to take up the challenges. Departments of Computer Science and Engineering and Information Technology stood up to doing the unprecedented task of offering training programs online and free of charge. University's IT Center, CITES, then ably led by Dr. Shahan Perra and his team, was ready to provide the technical support. I must also mention the support we received from SLASCOM and Computer Society of Sri Lanka. Very especially, University of Moratuwa owes a lot to our industry partners, and especially so to Mr. Hasitya Gahavita and Mr. Damit Hettriheva. Together, we identified the content for a course on full-stack development. Emphasis was not only on knowledge. We investigated the aspects of knowledge, skills, and attitude, and the daunting task of achieving all expected levels via a completely online delivery. We looked at what every other university in the world was doing, and more importantly, what the expectations of the local IT industry was. We could not forget the practices of the Sri Lankan learners as well. While we wanted to promote student-led learning, we had to acknowledge the relevant reliance on learning materials such as notes, etc. All these went into the design of the trainee full-stack developer course and other courses we are launching today and what we are developing at present. University of Moratuwa Council approved the Memorandum of Understanding with the DP Education Foundation to provide the financial support for content development. It wasn't just financial support that we received. I must thank all our young friends at DP team, as we refer to them, for their devoted support, which was invaluable. I'm not going to name you, but the entire team at DP Education Foundation, who are joining us in person here or online. Your dedicated support throughout is what made open.uom.lk a reality. All resource persons from academia and industry, you took this as your call. You gave your 100% to this. The quality of the program we have been running for 16 months without any complaint about its value or quality is the results of that hard work. Our teams of reviewers from University of Moratuwa alumni all over the world to the present second year students, you supported us in making the content to the level it is today. Vice Chancellor, Professor Gunawardena, your belief in what we can do, not questioning our ability to do all the crazy things we want to do, is a blessing. Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Chandrasekera, you regularly visit CODL. And you are our go-to person whenever we have problems. Former Dean Engineering, Professor Nalin Wickramaratchi, who monitors our registrations even now very regularly and always offering us suggestions throughout. And also the ever-friendly Dean of Faculty of Information Technology, Mr. B.H. Sudanta, who always had a solution to any problem. All of you have been our pillars of success in this journey of open.uom.lk. The new registrar, Mr. Dishant Jayanta, who probably takes pride in being the registrar of the university with the largest student community in Sri Lanka. I'm certain that you would value this more than anyone else with your contribution to the Faculty of Information Technology, as Priyantha said, as its first assistant registrar. All administrative staff at University of Moratuwa, the open.uom.lk team is grateful to you for not only the support extended, but many of you have been participants of the course as well. And it's with pride that I put on record that Dean of Faculty of Graduate Studies, Professor Ajit Alvis, keeps on promising us that he will soon be finishing the course. Thank you everyone for the faith and support you had in us. The team of content developers and administrators of open.uom.lk, we, Mr. Damika Pereira, Professor Malik Ranasinghe, Mr. Frank Varnakula, Dr. Buddhika Karunaratne, and I may have driven you crazy at times, but I salute you for the unwavering support and dedication to open.uom.lk by each and every one of you. We have come a long way from the launch of open.uom.lk in the last 16 months. Today we have over 200,000 registered participants in our system. To put this into perspective, total internal students at University of Moratuwa in 2021, as per the UGC statistics, is 7,541. And total registration in 2021 at all state universities is 122,679. It is encouraging to see the reception of the open.uom.lk platform to have more students than the entire state higher education system. Even more so encouraging to see the enthusiasm of Sri Lankan youth to become IT professionals. We have over 10,000 students completing the Python for Beginners course. Yes, in just 16 months, in completely online and asynchronous manner, we have produced students who can code in Python. I'm not going to go into all the course completion details, but we have many students in the audience today who have completed all 6 course modules of the trainee full stack developer course and are now contributing members of the Sri Lankan IT industry. Our hard work was internationally recognized last year, where we were awarded the first place at the European E-Learning Excellence Awards within few months of us launching open.uom.lk. We have come a long way. We have a long way to go. But knowing that we have made a tremendous impact among Sri Lankan students is our achievement. At a time, we argue about the future. I quote Eleanor Roosevelt. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Many thanks, Mr. Dhammika Perera, for pushing us to dream big and to make us believe in our dreams. I'm certain that Professor Wijeyesekera must be smiling and saying, hey, I'm the one who laid foundation to those dreams. Yes, many thanks, sir, for all your guidance and leadership, and may you rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Yes, it was the status quo of the IT in the University of Moratuwa. So we already talked about the past and the present. And how is the future? We must definitely listen to moving forward. How do we see future? This invitation goes to Senior Professor Malik Ranasinghe, who was a former Vice Chancellor. Sir, please talk about future.
Vice Chancellor, Mrs. Wijeyesekera, Chintana, Deans, distinguished invitees, Mr. Dhammika Perera, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start talking about the future, listening to Visakha, I do need to put some of the things on record correct. I remember I succeeded Professor Wijeyesekera as the Vice Chancellor. One of my first meetings as Vice Chancellor, I was just getting an idea of what I'm supposed to do, was the steering committee meeting of the Distance Education Modernization Project. It was held at the Ministry of Higher Education. So from Moratuwa, I came there, and on the way I looked at the minutes, and suddenly I realized that Moratuwa is supposed to produce 300 in the first year of external BIT degree students. I had no idea who had proposed, and so I went and sat there, it came up. I looked at Professor Wijeyesekera. He was the chief consultant at that time on the DEM project. He must have been grinning because he was looking down. And with that, so I got hold of Ajit, and that's how we started the BIT program. I'm sorry that Ajit is not here. And it became, as Visakha said, a flagship program that has pushed Moratuwa way beyond our limits. And if not for that, Professor Wijeyesekera's decision to push us into this area, I don't think we would have ever started, because the engineering faculty always resisted the idea of external degrees. I remember when we brought it to the Senate, when the BIT was brought to Senate by the IT faculty, a very distinguished colleague of mine expressed the view of the engineering faculty, saying that what you're offering is not a degree, but bit of a degree, playing with the words of BIT. And despite all of that, the Senate agreed that the BIT should go ahead, and this success on online learning came with that. Now, what I'm going to talk about is the next initiative that we are talking about. we have a suite of programs. Visakha talked of the open.um.lk. That focuses on students who are not in university, who are just outside. It could be a school child, it could be somebody who has finished his A-levels. We started with students who are going to finish A-levels, but it has now even gone with the DP coding school graduates coming on to our Python program. We have kids in grade 5 trying to do the Python program, which is a clear indication, a seamless movement for students who are interested in learning. Then we have the BIT program, which is our external degree program. And this is to the next level that we are going to have from the open distance learning, or the CODL, is a master's program. It's not a master's program. It's a conversion master's program. The SLQF handbook allows to convert people from different areas into a level 6 degree. Fortunately, it's called a conversion master's. So we are not offering a master's program, we are offering a conversion master's program that's hopefully going to be another hit in this university education system. So that's the initiative. So during my short presentation, I will talk about a few things. The background, obviously, the stages of development, the courses, benchmarking, the design, and the challenges. As we heard, project management is a skill, especially as the Vice Chancellor said, project management is a skill that is needed by everybody, universally. Of course, he has to say that. He is the president of the Sri Lanka Institute of Project Managers. We are all, most of us are members of that association, which is promoting project management. It's not for engineers. Project management is a skill a doctor needs, a student needs, a teacher needs. I believe the Vice Chancellor needs, and if you have to extend, even the President needs. Everybody is running a project. And if you know how to manage a project, you can make sure that you can plan properly, implement it, and achieve the objectives that you're trying to achieve. And it's certainly from a graduate point of view, where we are looking at, it increases the employability. It is not a degree program, but it is a supplement to graduates in different fields of study. So in that context, this is going to help students to come in and get their, you'll hear as I go on. It is targeted to students who have completed 3 years of undergraduate education or equivalent. That's the group that we are looking at. But that doesn't prohibit people from studying this area. That is our target group. It is benchmarked to an international project management qualification. We have chosen the Project Management Institute of USA's qualification to benchmark this whole program. From everything is linked to that. So we are not going for accreditation, but certainly is easily accreditable. We are working with the local chapter of the PIM. And it is within the principles and quality requirements of the open.um.lk's online education approach. Some very important principles we have developed over the years. Firstly, our method is asynchronous learning, meaning a person can study anywhere, anytime, at whatever pace he wants. The hybrid online teaching that we do in the university is called synchronous learning. All students, whether you are coming physically or online, must come at a fixed time on a fixed date. He or she does not have the choice to come at any time. Now that does not allow you to reach a large number of students. It's always limited to the number of students. The moment you take a step back and go to asynchronous learning, you're opening that hole into a large number of students. We hear of MOOCs like this. Today we can claim that we are the first successful MOOC in Sri Lanka. Modern, open online, lots of words. But basically, we have, with the 200,000 students, all studying at different times, at different places. If you look at the statistics, most of them are studying after 12 midnight. The largest usage is at that time. I guess it's cheaper, or the students today like to study at that time. Second very important principle that we are being very consistent is knowledge should be given free of charge. We will always give knowledge free of charge. But we will charge for the assessment to give a qualification. Two different things. We will give knowledge free, but if somebody wants that to be certified and said University of Moratuwa, we certainly will charge. Of course, we are giving the knowledge free principle by having a sponsor. And in the first instance, in these instances, DP Education Foundation has been very generous in letting us start. Now, of course, it has become a very acceptable model where people can look at it. If we are seriously looking at asynchronous online learning, you need to do this carefully. Third one, every program that we have offered from open.um.lk from the very beginning for the full stack developer program, the BIT program, the revised BIT program, everything is benchmarked against the best in the world. For example, we have a Python program that is benchmarked against the University of Michigan Python program, which is considered the most popular one in the world. Of course, thanks to the DP team, we took it down, we broke it down, and our people, I think, produced a program better than that. So when we say we have a Python program, it is benchmarked against the best in the world. And the fourth one, whatever that is developed through the open.um.lk platform, it has to be reviewed thrice, is a must. There has to be an internal coordinator who in the first instance looks at the content that is developed and says it's okay. If they highlight the issues and he has to sign off, then it is sent to an external person, a subject expert who has to go through that and give it. Once all that is done, we video the thing. Then it is given to another expert outside and our students. Till a student completes every program, this is not released. A student who is a recipient, who could be a recipient. For example, on open.um.lk, it was our first year students who had just finished their, who were going into the second year but on vacation, who were our guinea pigs, who are our people who helped us. In this case, in the project management, it was the civil engineering final year students who came and did some of it. Till at least one student completes it, we don't release it. We just have to be sure that what we have produced is doable by the students. So those are the four principles that we have developed along with it. Of course, we have developed a lot of other things. I am sure Prof. Jayavardhan would have seen it, the specs that we give to a lecturer in developing content. Right. And in terms of development, we have 3 stages. The first stage is any person can audit a course. I guess those who are familiar with the American system would know. It is open to anybody to come and study. That's how we achieve this knowledge free of charge. You can obtain the required knowledge and the skills with formative assessments. There are no summative assessments. And it is always offered free of charge. And of course, the person receives, at the end of the day, a certification of participation. On completion, he receives a certification of participation, online certification. Of course, that person can get a hard copy from the ODL, and ODL will give it, not free, for a fee. And those of us from the universities, this is in the training program model. Then we have the credit. You can credit that same course. If you look at any of these courses that you want to see, then you can credit it. Now, at this point, we look at the qualifications, the pre-qualifications of the student, the participant. So this stage in the project management program can be done only by a student who has completed 3 years of university education or equivalent. So the first stage can be done by everybody. So today, after we launch the program, all the 4 courses that we are going to launch today will be open to the 200,000 students who are on our platform. Even a school child who is on the platform can come in and learn, get a knowledge about the project management. He won't be allowed to get a qualification, but he can get the knowledge free of charge. The difference between the first and second stage is all the knowledge that is given in the first stage is the same knowledge, but then you have the summative assessments, the continuous assessments and the examinations that will confirm that the person has met the requirements that the university is expecting. All the courses that are offered in project management are of 3 credit value. We are all familiar with the credit system. It's equivalent to 3 credits, which means a lot of content has gone in and a lot of work is there. It's broken into 14 different weeks of work. That doesn't mean it takes 14 weeks. A smart person can finish it in a week if he works night and day. Another person might take 6 to 8 or 10 months to finish it. That is the beauty of asynchronous learning. A good student does not need to wait for the next week. He can go ahead and finish it. And upon successful completion of the program, that is, having done the knowledge part, having done the continuous assessment, having done the examinations, we will give a certificate of successful completion with a grade. So it is very much on the models of the short course. And then on the third stage, which is our future, is this whole concept of a conversion masters at SLQF level 6. And here the difference is, we are calling it a stackable masters. It's going to be a new word. It's a new word to the university system. Fortunately, the University of Moratuwa had the guts to approve the bylaw for it. So there is a bylaw, thanks to Professor Karananda's support, which we have approved, where a student, without registering for masters, can do these independent courses and over a 5-year period, collect them and then decide, now I want to do a master's. He is allowed to convert 60% of that, or six of those courses that he has finished, he can convert and take credit within a 5-year period. And then he can complete the master's. So again, we are giving as flexibility as much as possible. Of course, in the future, we may see that we are talking of micro degrees. We may see that coming even in Moratuwa, where we are allowing people to do a part of it, come back, combine, whatever. Anyway, these are the 3 stages of development that's going to be there in the future. This is already with the full stack developer, we have the auditing part and the crediting part, but the extra step that we are taking here is this stackable masters that will give you a qualification. Now, why do we do that? Okay. These are the courses that we are going to offer eventually. That will make up the project management program. It's a combination of what is offered at PMI, and what is needed in industry. Everything is there, but we have tried to break it up. Today we are launching what you see in red color: foundations of project management, scope and schedule, communication and stakeholder management, and agile project management in ICT projects. There is no reason other than the fact these are the first 4 that was finished. We are working on all of the projects. These are the first 4 that was in a stage that we could release. Very soon we should be able to release 4 more, which are in different stages of development. And the good thing on this is, in this full development, we have never met physically. Every meeting, every approval, every observation has been online. We have never, the first time I met some of the content developers was a few months after, or even a lot longer, after they had joined the team and were working. We knew them on the Zoom, but we certainly didn't know them physically. So it's 12 programs that are going to be available. At least 8 should be ready within the next 3 to 4 months. Others are the newer courses that we have introduced, and you would see that they are not all project management, or they are not all traditional project management, but we have looked at the new movements. Today, with the PMI Book 6, or the PM Book 6, 7, we are talking more of agile. We are no longer talking of waterfall management, project management anymore. It's not sequential. You have to look at a completely different area. Right. And then we benchmark all our programs against the best in the world. In this case, we have decided to benchmark against the PMI's, what is known as the Certified Associate in Project Management level. That is the entry level for project management. The final qualification is PMP, Professional in Project Management, or Project Management Professional, but this is the entry level, and the entry level is a level 6 degree. So that's why we are giving a master's, a conversion master's at level 6. You finish that, you walk into that program. And second reason is, one of the complaints we have always heard is that the humanities students at the end of the day finds it very difficult to get a job. So that's why we want to see whether we could use this to help them to get 2 degrees by the time they finish. Do this online, and they have their BA degree and a MSc in project management, a conversion master's in project management with skills that are recognized. And certainly, whether you are doing archaeology or whether you are a teacher, project management skills are going to be very useful. And to do this, we mapped all the, it is benchmarked to the latest course examination content outline that the Project Management Institute puts out. The latest one is in October 22, and we have mapped all the intended learning outcomes of our 12 programs with what they call the domain tasks. Everything has been mapped, and that's how we know it is going to fully meet the requirements of the Project Management Institute's Certified Associate in Project Management. Now, these are another very important development that we have developed with our experience. We have 10 stages every development, whether it is in open.um.lk or in the project management, and I'm sure in the bit in the future, we'll have to go through these 10 stages. It is through trial and error, through argument, we have developed this, but it certainly gives us a very clear process in which we follow. The content preparation, the review, finalizing, the external review. We have a very important role played by the internal staff of the ODL and the DP team. The language review, all the things that we normally don't do in a typical course when we develop comes in. And then we also make sure that every slide that goes out has a very standard style. It is not, you can't do whatever you want. It has to have a very standard style. So with that we do the branding. And if I will extend it a little bit more, these are the steps the same steps, different enrollments. The content developer, who is an outside. In this program, majority of the content developers are PMP qualified people. Some of them are authorized personnel from the Project Management Institute. I don't know whether they are here. Mr. Tilak Kekanayaka. Thank you. Who have been very helpful. And so the content developer plays a very important role, but at every stage he is checked out. Right. Let me finish by looking at the challenges that we have faced, not only in this program, but in all programs that we have done. The asynchronous learning requires diverse learner requirements. One of the most difficult things, because different people learn differently. And we have tried our best to cater to that. Over the years, over the last months, we have figured out a few things, but there's a lot more to figure out. Then the local language support. At the beginning, we started the open.um.lk with the industry's request that it should be taught in English. We started in English. Of course, we were comfortable with that, but then we realized the need. So open.um.lk now has the script of the whole video. Every video, there's a script, which is exactly word to word of what appears in the video, is now in both Sinhala and Tamil. Thanks to our final year students who are willing to do the translation, it's there so that even if you don't understand the English meaning, you can get the words, but then eventually figure out the English words. And the content changes. We have tried our best to make sure that it's all up to date, but we know content keeps on changing. And our commitment is the open.um.lk developments will be reviewed every 2 years and project management every 3 years. So the teams that have joined are there for a longer journey. Project management groups that are joining have committed to work for 3 years. In the first stage, we'll put everything, and then we'll keep on improving. And then on a 3-year cycle, we will keep revising. So these are not going to be stagnant things. These are going to be dynamic programs that hopefully will justify the faith that Prof. Wijeyesekera had in us to offer to take the Moratuwa's brand name through open distance learning to the rest of the country. It's not only the rest of the country. I think we have a significant number of overseas students now coming on the open.um.lk website, registering. I think if I'm not right, about 6 to 7% are now foreign students who have come. So maybe we haven't seen the impact, but maybe we could also turn this into a foreign exchange journal. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the time, the patience you have shown, and especially to Mrs. Wijeyesekera and Chintana. Thank you for gracing this occasion. And the last event on this evening is to launch the project management program. I think we are going to see a video before that, no? Yeah. All right, come. So with that, I will say thank you very much for your patience. Thank you.
We always learn new concepts from him, right? Thank you very much. Asynchronous online learning, right? So thank you very much for these new concepts, sir. So now it's time for another remarkable event on the agenda. This is the launch of the project management modules on open.um.lk. So I respectfully invite Senior Professor Niranjan Gunawardena, Vice Chancellor of the University of Moratuwa, Dr. D.P. Chandrasekara, Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Moratuwa, and Mr. Dhammika Pereira, Chairman, DP Education Foundation, to launch the new courses. We invite Professor Malik Ranasinghe to accompany them. We would also like to invite Mrs. Vishaka Nanayakara, Director CODL, Dr. Buddhika Karunaratna, Deputy Director CODL, and Dr. Dilini Thoradeniya, Senior Consultant to CODL for Project Management courses, and Mr. Gaindu Jayathilaka and Ms. Sumudu Chaturani Jayatis of CODL to technically assist us with the launch. We would like to invite Senior Professor Asoka Pereira, Senior Professor Mrs. Chinta Jayasinghe, Professor Indika Pereira, Drs. Leslie Ekanayaka, Ranil Sugatadasa, Sandareka Vikramanayaka, Chaturanga Hettiarachchi, Sapumal Lahangama, Suranga Jayasena, representing heads of departments and course coordinators of project management courses.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now launch the Project Management Skills Program. So this is the QR code that gives you access to the program. I cordially invite you to scan the QR code to access the open.um.lk website, which is our open learning platform. So this is our landing page, the landing page of our open learning platform. So now you can access the details of the program by clicking on the Learn More button. So this will take you to our e-brochure, which contains details of the program. You can then click on the Start Learning button at the bottom. So you will have to register your details by completing the registration quiz. I will now show you the steps involved in this registration process. Please access the quiz and answer the questions. So this is the registration quiz. After completing the registration quiz, you will be directed to the details of the courses in the program. If you would like to follow a course, you can click on the enroll for this course button at the bottom. So these are the details of Foundation of Project Management course. So we have similar details for Project Scope and Schedule Management course. And for the Agile Project Management in ICT project course. And the Project Communication and Stakeholder Management course. So we hope you enjoy these courses and valuable knowledge in the field of project management. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is the beginning of another era. These PM modules will be used by many of those who work in the industry. Here is the video to brief you the overview of the 4 programs we just launched. Foundations of Project Management, Project Scope and Stakeholder Management, Project Communication and Stakeholder Management, and Agile Project Management. So please see the video.
Project management it's basically the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to achieve the objectives of any project. So that's basically what the project management is all about.
Gear yourself in readiness with knowledge to enter the world of project management and prepare yourself for a career in the field of project management. You can learn from the best academia and industry experts in Sri Lanka, including PMP certified professional practitioners, by enrolling in the Project Management Skills Program. The free, self-paced online learning program is designed in alignment with the Certified Associate in Project Management exam content outline of the Project Management Institute, USA. The program is recommended for anyone in any work field, including undergraduate students and professionals seeking to transition to project management roles. There are 12 courses in the Project Management Skills Program. We are pleased to launch the program today with 4 engaging courses delivered by some of the best academics and industry experts in Sri Lanka, including PMP certified professionals. The Foundations of Project Management course will provide you with an understanding of the fundamentals of project management and identifies effective project management practices and their related processes.
A project life cycle is a series of phases that a project passes through from start to completion. It provides the basic framework for managing the project.
The Project Scope and Schedule Management course focuses on the management of the work required for the project's completion and ensuring that the work is completed in a timely manner.
Now let's look at 2 key terms we use in giving logical relationship to activities. Those are leads and lags. The first example in the slide shows a finish to start relationship without any lags or leads.
The Project Communication and Stakeholder Management course will help you understand how information about the project is imparted and exchanged, as well as help you understand the process by which organizations monitor and improve their relationships with stakeholders.
What exactly does it mean to manage communication in a planned manner? That is a method of coming up with an appropriate strategy for the project communication activities.
The Agile Project Management in ICT Projects course explains this iterative approach to delivering a project throughout its life cycle. You will be able to learn Agile basics, frameworks, and real-world implementations.
So we know it's a self-empowered democratic entity, this Scrum. This means there is usually no traditional project manager to manage it. Instead, there's a person called the Scrum Master. He's kind of the master of the Scrum. I'll tell you what that means. The Scrum Master is not a manager.
Other courses to be launched in the future include Project Cost and Resource Management, Project Risk Management, Project Quality Management, Project Contract Law and Management, Project Procurement Management, Business Environment in Project Management, Software Development Lifecycle, and Requirement Management in ICT projects. The courses included in the program cover a breadth of knowledge in the field of project management. The program is currently offered as multiple standalone audit courses. The university plans to offer the program in the future as a series of credit courses leading to a stackable conversion master's program at SLQF Level 6, equivalent to the 4th year of an undergraduate honours degree. This is an excellent opportunity for students who have completed 3 years of undergraduate education in any field of study to top up to an equivalent honours degree in project management. You can enroll for free by accessing https://open.uom.lk.
Thank you, Professor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It has been an impressive few minutes, just over maybe an hour. We have seen lots of information, lots of distinguished speakers talking about the future of education. It has been a great honor being part of this glamorous event today. On behalf of the Center for Open and Distance Learning, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the esteemed guests who are present today. Special thanks to Mrs. Kamleen Wijeyesekera for your presence here today. Thank you, Madam. Our sincere thanks goes to the Vice Chancellor, Senior Professor N.D. Gunawardana, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. D.P. Chandrasekara, and to all the officials at the University of Moratuwa for extending their fullest support to make this event a success and for being present here today. I would especially like to thank the Director of the Center for Open and Distance Learning, University of Moratuwa, Mrs. Vishaka Nanakara, for being the driving force behind this event. Former Vice Chancellor, Senior Professor Malik Ranasinghe, thank you, sir, for your guidance and support throughout. Sincere thanks to Professor Udeni Nawagamuwa for comparing this event as. Thank you. The newly launched project management program, what we have just seen, on the open learning platform of the University of Moratuwa, is a brainchild of many inspiring personnel from the academia as well as the industry. The program is a result of a long series of brainstorming and planning sessions, which is ongoing even at present. There's a large team behind this project. There wouldn't be sufficient time to mention all the names involved. However, I wouldn't be doing a fair job if I did not mention the key people behind the effort. For overseeing the whole procedure, the whole project, doing all the coordination, thank you, Dr. Dilin Tauradenia, for taking a challenge to manage all the challenges that arise in this kind of an endeavor. Content leads Mr. Wijeyesekera of Procons International, Mr. Isuru Senadira, Mr. Sandika Samarkon, Dr. Ranil Sugudadasa, Dr. Suranga Jayasena, and all the content developers of these courses, including the team at Procon International and multiple content developers for Agile, especially for the Agile project management course from all over the world. So we have seen how people came together in online sessions, in numerous Zoom meetings, and to get this work done successfully. And from the University of Moratuwa, Senior Professor Malik Ranasinha, Mrs. Vishaka Nanakara, heads of the departments supporting the program, Professor Indika Pereira, Professor Mrs. Chitta Jayasinghe, Dr. Ranil Sugudadasa, and course coordinators, Dr. Leslie Ekanayaka, Dr. Kasun Karyavasam, Dr. Chandan Sirivardhana, Professor Ashoka Pereira, Dr. Sandarega Vikramanayaka, Dr. Sapmala Hangama, Mr. Gayendra Saranga from CODL, Mr. Nadish Ranasinghe doing a tremendous job from the Center of IT Services, University of Moratuwa, Mr. Sanjay Suryarachi from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Thank you all for your contributions. And as external reviewers, Mr. Anru Kuragamage of the PMI Sri Lanka chapter, Ms. Shivantika Di Costa of PMI, Dr. Kutla Gunasekara and Professor Indika Pereira from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, University of Moratuwa. And from the PMI Sri Lanka chapter, President Mr. Saman Kandanarachi, Executive Vice President Mr. Dhammika Mendis, Past President Mr. Shanaka De Silva. And for providing miscellaneous support, Mrs. Sunetra Ranasinghe for doing all the language reviews, which are also quite important and essential. Team DP Education, as already mentioned, especially Ms. Pooja Senanayaka, Mr. Yugisha Bimsara, and all the CODL staff for providing all the support that is required. Our sincere thanks goes to Mr. Dhammika Pereira and the DP Education team for sponsoring the program and providing active support to deliver world-class online courses. I must also mention the support provided by the University of Moratuwa Alumni Association, which has stood by us, motivating and empowering us to do the unthinkable. And I'll take this opportunity to thank the whole team behind the open learning platform of the University of Moratuwa, which now has surpassed 200,000 participants. With your great contributions and support, a platform has been created to provide open online asynchronous learning, reaching out to audiences that have never been reached before. Last but not least, I would like to applaud the efforts of the staff at Center for Open and Distance Learning, who have worked tirelessly to make this event a successful one. The numbers may be small, but the tasks that you have taken up and deliver are enormous. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Dr. Buddhika. With that note, we conclude today's proceedings. CODL wishes to invite the distinguished gathering for a tea that will be served at the banquet hall garden. So with that note, I wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you very much.